You guys think I'm 6 foot tall, but I'm 5'5",
like Rothschild, Nick Rothschild from Denver 7. It's episode 11 of The Elevation on Fan Day Nation. I am Danny Williams, Mark Jackson.
I am.
Broncos great right here. Boot camp, alumni stuff. He's still training. He's looking ripped up. We got Jeff Gersher. He's looking pretty ripped, too. He wears those
2021 Torrey Pines U.S. Open.
He's looking ripped, but he wears those youth medium shirts that kind of make you look.
Youth mediums.
Yeah. Okay, you guys, we have a good one. It's episode 11. We usually start the shows by throwing out there at least to our first 100 episodes until
At least.
ESPN
101
or whoever. We're not going to,
101's going to be hard.
Who's
Elon
the guys
Musk.
on the East Coast who do the thing?
Someone's going to buy us.
Dave
Pizza box guy.
The pizza guy.
Gonna sell out.
The Barstool, whoever wants to pay us the most million.
Gatorade.
But 1 through show 100, we can do associate jerseys of the greatest of all time with the number of the show. 11. The first guy, Mark Jackson, that comes to your mind, 11 is who?
11.
I think the first
Zeke. I think Zeke's probably my
Okay,
favorite.
Really?
Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas. He was a beast.
Mm-hmm.
Coming out of Indiana was kind of a, that's the only strike I had against him being a Purdue grad.
Well, you're a
but
Chicago guy.
kid, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sweet little
The roots out of Chicago.
And if I'm telling you what, Mark, when it comes down to NBA Jam, and I'm hitting those buttons on that,
Right.
boom, 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 and it's him and Lambeer, and they're working,
And
and Isaiah's got that ball, boom. Oh, I mean, Isaiah Thomas is not only one of the greatest NBA players, but he's one of the greatest NBA Jam players. I'm talking the video, the boom, boom, boom.
You know what I think? I think that,
11
talk
is
about
sick.
it for a sec, those bad boys Pistons teams
Yeah.
were a dynasty in their own right. They won 2 championships, and this is in the this is in the
Michael Jordan
Celtics era.
days.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
This is Celtics, Lakers, and then the ascension of Michael Jordan. Isaiah Thomas was not on that dream team. That's a whole thing. But you know what? When you talk about 11, well, when I searched 11, Isaiah Thomas was the first guy to come up on the list. The second guy was Mark Messier.
Okay. Ooh, all right. Guaranteed it.
Jeff knows a thing about or two about hockey. Messier with the great one that what they had going on was Bossa Nova, right?
Right.
For him to bring a Stanley Cup to, the big city of New York and Madison Square Garden is like when Bork
Just to play in New York.
around here. Like it's
Anyone
just when
starts in
greats-
New York, you're starting the world.
And when you're a great hoisting that cup, that's hockey gave back to you because you gave so much to hockey. So 11, that's a banger.
2 or 3 more 11s worth mentioning, and then one story from Mark on an 11, and then we'll get this show moving forward. Okay, real quick. I'm seeing Barry Larkin. I'm seeing I'm seeing Klay Thompson, one of the most underrated dudes. Both those guys underrated dudes all time. Walt Clyde Frazier, and then Larry Fitzgerald, the last guy. There's Bob McAdoo, Detlef Schrempf, Drew Bledsoe, Edgar Martinez,
Drew Bledsoe.
Kyrie Irving. But I want to ask you about Phil Sims. You have an interesting relationship with Phil Sims in 11.
Yes.
Tell me when you think of
You ever
Phil
got a
Sims,
pass from
what do
him?
you think of? Because when Broncos country thinks of Phil Sims, they think of him as a great enemy for a couple different reasons. For Super Bowl failures, and then for him as a broadcaster, always feel like he was dogging the Broncos.
Yeah,
There is a bit of that.
You're
Right.
about that? He was kind of biased.
He
that
always
way.
dogging the Broncos.
I have no idea why, but love Phil Sims.
He throw a nice ball?
No, blue collar guy. By the time I played with him, he was in year 15.
Okay.
He threw a great ball against us in the Super Bowl. I think it was 13 for 13. at
Yeah,
that
he was
point.
21 for 24 in that game, I think.
Just ridiculous. Played lights out.
Yeah. So Phil Sims was
Morehead State. Yeah. Phil Sims is, like I said, blue collar guy. He'd take anything for free. He used to say, if it's free, it's me. That's where I got that from, and I've had that motto for the rest of my life.
And then Morehead
Give
State,
me something free, please.
way better than their arch rivals, Head State.
Less
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're out on those guys.
Count
So-
me out. Hey, Detlef Schrempf, you guys also incredible at NBA Jam,
yeah.
right? And then I do want to give a little bit of love. I think we skipped over Larry Fitzgerald.
Love Larry
you
Fitzgerald.
You guys, he used to go like this.
Top
He'd
10?
go,
All time.
he'd go, concuss me, don't take out my knees.
Yeah, that's right.
He'd go, hit me high, I'll take 2 weeks
Hey,
off.
as a receiver,
Don't
is that a
hit me
thing?
low.
Is that a thing?
No.
Oh,
no,
Larry
where he
made it a thing.
I don't know where he came up with that.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
He's smart
And
like
cuss
that.
me, don't take out my knee. That's
Not
brilliant.
like that, but like he would say, hit me
Why
high.
not think of that?
He'd say, hit me high, but don't eat. That's a 13, month
Yeah.
injury versus a 3-week. Also, this guy,
lifetime.
one of the
I
greatest of all
can't talk
time.
straight.
And I don't know
okay.
where did he grow up again. Where did Larry Fitzgerald grow up? Minnesota.
So that's why.
Why was he a Golden Gopher?
He went to Pitt, man.
I know. How do you end up at Pitt?
Well, he probably want to play at some Metrodome or something. He want to go play at a real.
Gophers in that.
His dad was in the media, pretty smart. I think Pitt offers some extra.
But there's great footage of Larry
Smart kids.
Fitz down there with Randy Moss and Chris Carter on the sidelines. He was a ball boy.
Yeah. That's right.
Oh wow.
Another great story about number 11,
Under who?
Denny Green,
Hey.
the great Denny Green.
The great Denny Green. What was it? Didn't he blow up? Did he go up?
Thought they were.
Yeah, that's it.
And we
Let them off the hook. If you want to crown their ass, then crown them. But they are who we thought they were. And you let them off the hook.
It's the Bears. What are you talking about?
was
That's like
Devin
a top
Hester.
10. That's a top 10
Yeah,
man.
and he was, but then he was a Cardinals coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
not the beloved.
We had a chance to watch Game 5 of the NBA Finals
Right
together.
here.
Second
game
half.
was.
It was pretty spectacular. I don't know how the Pacers go down double digits and claw their way back in the games. They're like just keep attacking. It's like a
Mitch
And-
McConnell this time.
it's like an NFL team that you know they're going to score 30, 32 somehow, some way.
Yeah.
Even if they stumble out of the gates, you look up and Josh Allen and the Bills have, it's 31-27.
They're back in it.
So the Pacers, you
back.
got to give them a lot of credit. The Thunder are now up after that victory, 3-2. The Pacers' backs are against the wall. The series has been spectacular. It was way more than we thought it was going to be. Just quick reactions from the game itself, and then we'll project forward.
Doesn't this look
rest.
eerily? Ooh. Familiar? So here's the Indiana Pacers.
Uh-huh.
Up 2-1 at home with a chance to go up 3-1.
Okay.
They were
I.e. Denver Nuggets
Yeah.
against these Oklahoma City Thunder.
Absolutely.
wow.
And failed to do that. Now they're finding themselves down to
So
three.
the Pacers are up 3-1. You just look at like the history of the league, the percentages. It's essentially you'd have to do some really crazy historic stuff to come back and get into that series.
Right.
So for the Thunder to come back and win 111-104 in Game 4, it's easy to forget about the last game. Shea was great. They found a way, and the Pacers were in control of Game 4. A little bit of the opposite tonight. The Thunder have seized control of this series. Jeff, does this thing go 7, or is this thing over?
This thing is over.
Yeah.
Over. It's a mix of not over.
And
I just took
yeah.
the T out and
Or
put
never
apostrophe
over.
So
in
what
there,
was,
mate.
what was your postpartum doula? No, what was your
postpartum depression?
what was your
Yeah, no,
prediction before
So
the series
I
started?
picked the Pacers in 6, and part of that was
There you go.
the Pacers haven't lost 2 games in a row since
Ever.
Okay,
Yeah.
March
I like.
9th.
Okay, yeah, it's
March
a long
9th.
time ago.
Yeah.
March.
It's as far back as my
We haven't
memory
done
goes.
we hadn't done episode 1 by then.
March.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
The
Wow.
Pacers haven't lost 3 games in a row since
Since
March
Wow.
9th.
Okay.
Same day.
yeah.
Because literally you have
That
to
was
lose
third.
2 in a row to lose 2 in a
Lose
row.
3, yeah.
Last time they lost 3 in a row was March 9th. So what's happening right now is they just lost 2 in a row. There's no way they're losing 3 in a row. They haven't done it in 100 days.
Huh.
They hadn't
You
done it
don't
in 100
think that's
days, and I don't think they're doing it at home in front of the Indiana Pacer fans. But here's what's going on. Let me just finish.
There's some logic
These
to
are
that
these are the 2 best teams. These are the 2 best coaches,
Agreed.
the 2 best GMs, and
Very
the 2 best fan bases, and we get to just take it all in. I want 7 of these games. I don't
Well,
want
I'm going to
6.
respond to a
That's
little bit of what Jeff's saying because he's
Yeah.
cooking right now.
He is.
And do you know what?
with avocado oil.
I know what you're trying to do, and I like it.
Yeah.
But
It's easy to love.
but he said a
Easy to
lot
like.
of words there. Okay,
Barely,
It's a lot of work.
barely any.
some of the words I liked, and some of the words I didn't like.
Which ones didn't you like?
What I didn't like is I think the Thunder have seized control of this series.
Yes.
And what you were right about was the best coach. Rick
They have
Carlisle.
had 3 in a row.
Rick Carlisle, now that Greg Popovich is out of the league, is one of the 2, 3, 4, 5 best coaches in the NBA. And if he's probably finds a way to win this series, we'll talk about him as one of the greatest coaches in NBA history. So Rick Carlisle's got some legacy and a lot of that stuff on
Yeah.
the line. But Rick Carlisle, in my mind, has lifted the Pacers, Mark, a little bit further than really they were kind of the pieces.
Oh, we said that. Well, that's how we felt.
Yeah, that's what you said when it was 0-0.
so
That's what you said.
I guess what I'm saying is I don't think the Pacers. I think
things
still
about
think-
to be 3-3.
I still think the Celtics are the second best team in the league and the best team in the East. But I can't
Not
argue
Cleveland?
that. I think Cleveland's up there too.
Yeah.
I mean,
best
like
coach in the East is
Rick Carlisle.
and the best coach in the
So
West.
I think he has
is
like the fifth
Daniel.
best talent, and he's the best coach equals second or third best team in the East. We're
But
not
the best GMs. Dude, look at the Indiana Pacers GM and look at the Oklahoma
Yeah.
City Thunder. Just speaking of a team, like Denver that doesn't have
Yeah,
GM or
Right.
kind of does or maybe does or
Broncos
sort of does.
yeah.
Damn, go get it.
Okay.
Somebody that's doing it, or even our new favorite team, the Orlando Magic.
Nothing to argue about.
GMs
I
are,
love that. Yeah.
are dialing it up right now, and I'm not sure Denver has even the
We
name.
don't have a general manager to make deals yet.
Yeah,
Talk about
all
that.
right.
We did.
But this series has been sick. And
Ben
that's why
Tenzer.
you're a Ben Tenzer.
Thank you.
Actually, I think I have a Ben Tenzer right here.
I'm not a
on my
big
internet.
Tenzer.
Oh, there it is. I got a Ben Tenzer right here.
Shoot.
I'm not looking.
Look
not
at-
gonna look.
I got to get that checked out.
Keeping my eyes
Ben
straight ahead.
Tenzer. Yeah. I had a Ben Tenzer once.
did that
but
once.
Then I
I had a 10 Benzer.
but then we broke up about a week later after that Ben Tenzer. I don't know.
What is a Ben Tenzer? That's the guy's name? Really?
Yeah.
The GM of the...
No, he works within the organization. He's the guy the Nuggets are the most likely to promote work alongside, under, with Josh Kroenke, the owner of the Broncos.
Well, if it makes Tens Benzer feel better, I don't know the name of the Indiana Pacers
How'd you
GM,
say his name
and that
backwards?
freaking guy
That's
is
tough to
sweet.
do.
Yeah.
That is.
Bent Fender.
Okay, so there's no
What's his name? Sent Bender? I don't.
there's no update on a Nuggets general manager. Another couple little weird, unique things here. Either the Nuggets were like, don't say anything to anybody. But on the flip side, to the candidates, if you're a candidate and you're the agent of the candidate,
Yeah.
you want your guy's name out there. He's interviewing. He's there because he wants the next job after that. You want to keep your name kind of out there and up there. So we've heard none of that coming through any rumors or correlations with any general manager who's outside the organization interviewing,
Talking
any
to,
of that.
texting,
Yeah, anything.
on Instagram,
And then, do you know what? Real quick, last
Twitter.
Mark, what
X,
do you
what's
want to
it called now?
interview?
Well, Mark always talks about, the ownership, and he always likes to talk about the management. And I do think when you say,
We
that
saw it with the
Pat
Broncos.
Bowlen eras,
Absolutely.
even when you question the Monforts or when you question the Cronkies,
Absolutely.
like, what is the next step that the Cronkies need to take that you've seen in your past that'll lead them to the promised land, or at least
hope.
or at
I
least
hope
close
that
to
there's
it?
a salary cap
Well,
because they don't want to spend the money, so they're hoping for a salary cap, and that didn't come from another. Was it 5 years
is that Rockies?
for the new?
I have
yeah.
a real
No.
question.
What about for Nuggets? What's
Oh,
their-
for Nuggets.
for their next movement for upper management? Like, so when Pat Bowlen was running the show, who was their management level guys that were?
I think that the deal with
What are you
Pat
looking
Bowlen,
for in that?
I think
Because that's what,
what
the
he had-
Nuggets need next.
what he did was surrounding himself with great people, and he was a great owner in that. He
Interesting.
wasn't shy to open up the checkbook and write a check for those that deserved it. So I think if
How hands-on he was Pat Bowlen with the selection of the players?
no, not at all.
Zero.
Zero.
He just was willing to write the
0.0.
check.
Yeah,
That is powerful. That's some of the best stuff.
absolutely.
Because if Josh Kroenke thinks he's going to start making some organizational decisions, the last time he did that, they hired Brian Shaw. And it was a freaking disaster. And you fired George Karl, who's beloved. You tanked yourself out. You looked like shit out.
Beloved.
Listen,
That's a
that was
strong
on Josh.
word.
That for Dan.
That was on Josh.
Can you say that again? Say that again. It was passionate when you.
Well, watch this.
All right.
Because then Josh Kroenke, like rich guys do, rich guys don't get rich by being dumbass.
He's a rich guy. Every time you're
Yeah. You can make love with the old man.
I still rely on
No,
that.
okay. Anyways.
It's gonna make love, but anyway.
Okay. Anyways,
It was a solo show.
Cool down, Jim.
my bad.
Woo.
Rich guy in the Cronkies, Josh Kroenke, who played college basketball, knows basketball, seen it, breathed it, lived it, realized his mistake with Brian Shaw, fired him less than 2 years into his tenure, hired Tim Connolly, one of the best executives in the NBA, and the rest, hold on, wait for it,
Is history.
I don't know who's doing better stuff than that right now.
Oh, I know who is. I know who is.
Oh.
Nobody. else.
Nobody's doing it.
Real quick. Okay, we got a lot of stuff going
That's
on
pretty good
here.
to go back on a decision to eat. That shows leadership.
Yep.
I just hope that he learned from that and he doesn't try to take that position.
Hockey Mark. really quick.
Nobody I love more than hockey.
We're in the middle of the first
Legit.
segment. We got
On
more
the
business. We got to read to do.
Yeah.
But we're in the midst here of the home stretch of the NHL Finals. The Florida Panthers are up 3-2.
Yes.
As of today, it looks like they're gonna close this thing out. They won it all last year. They were in the Stanley Cup Finals and lost the year before.
To who?
This is 3 straight
Maurice.
years. 3 straight years of NHL Finals. Could be 2 championships in an era where dynasties are rare. What are we thinking about the Florida
We're
Panthers?
starting to think that they're a dynasty. Brad
Yeah.
Marchand, 2 goals.
He's
Great. That's French.
For what? Hockey?
Marchand.
Is French for what?
More goals.
Grapes?
That's a good question. For marching,
March on.
Marchand,
Literally means march on.
2 goals.
never quit.
So tell me the last time.
Yeah.
There's been the first time in the history of the
National Hockey League.
there's players that scored 5 or more goals in 2 NHL series.
Okay.
Two-
Marchand.
He did it
Brad Marchand. Yes.
37 years ago.
That's probably more than 30
Wow.
years ago.
No, Marchand is sweet.
I can't do math.
And do you know what the Bruins? The Bruins had like a borderline baby dynasty. Went to a cup, won one.
Oh, yeah.
know?
He was biting ears and stuff. He
Yeah.
was a
When,
feisty
I remember when the Florida when
face
they
biter.
what year was it that they got that franchise? I was like, what the hell are you doing putting a hockey franchise in Florida?
It might have been right around the
Seriously?
same time
The
that
ice would melt.
Colorado got one.
I didn't think they had ice in Florida, Mark. I agree with you.
Hey, name all the outdoor rinks in Colorado.
Hold on, there's tons. There's
All wait.
shoot.
Be
Evergreen Lake.
Gotta watch, guys.
Yeah.
Gotta watch. Just a piece from
We used to
Nico.
freeze up the
Some I got from
our
Nico.
tennis court, and our homeowners association didn't like it.
Dang.
Yeah, but that's in Indiana. That's in like.
Yeah,
But-
Were you?
I think Florida
you
got a
skate?
team right around.
Mark,
I could
yeah,
skate.
you could skate.
I could
Really? Tell me more.
roller skate.
Hockey skate.
Yeah.
Roller skate.
All right, I'll tell you my roller skate stories quick.
Yeah, do it.
So
Okay.
I had to be 8 because I was at second or third grade. Guess what I got for Christmas? Some
Roller
ice skates.
skates.
No, some ice skates.
Okay.
What black parent buys your kids in the inner city of Chicago ice skates? We're right
Very
down the
progressive.
right down the
Even
street.
in
from us.
Mighty Ducks, they had one black kid.
To the thank then.
2 blocks away, they would freeze the park
Uh-huh.
and make a little ice rink.
Yeah.
So I put those skates on, man, and I put them on at the house,
Yeah.
and I walked 2 blocks in ice skates.
With the little guards on.
No,
Oh, okay.
That's not.
we're inner
That's not the
city
story I
I
thought.
black
know,
family.
I'm just
We
checking.
didn't have guards.
That's the opposite of the story. I thought Mark was
on
gonna
a
say.
concrete.
I go up there trying to get
Cracker?
my ankles. I'm like twisting my ankles.
Dang.
I was like, this is not for me. So I have to walk back
You're like, I better learn how to run some routes.
in ice skates.
Yeah, no wonder you became an NFLer.
Shoot,
No
you could have been the
surprise.
next
It's a
Brad
true story.
Marchand, bro.
I thought he was
brought
gonna
back
say
a bad
like
memory.
He could have been Brad Marchand.
I got
could've
some
been.
roller skates. He was skating backwards.
With the way, but seriously,
roller skates. You got a brand new key.
Nice. I was thinking like because
That's
it was
something you
back in the day a little bit.
next year,
I was thinking a little bit of
What were you thinking?
used to go out to parties.
How-
I don't know. That's about it. Who sings that?
What's that
one?
have to do with skates?
You said it was the 70s.
like roller
I'm saying,
skating.
oh, you down?
It's the
You're skating.
70s.
I think I'd like a big collar.
I don't know.
You got a big
Oh
collar.
yeah,
I was thinking Fat Man
Yeah.
Girls by Queen, but yeah, that's
Fat
just
Bottom Girls.
that's what I was thinking.
Well, because Mark is
I can
one.
roller skate backwards to that.
How did we get here?
Well, Mark.
Hockey,
Yeah,
dynasty,
sorry. That's
Skating.
yeah.
skating.
Skating.
Okay, so
Hey, Brad Marchand runs routes or skates like you run routes, right?
Right.
You cool with that?
Exactly.
I'm gonna let Jeff, the hockey guy, who's
Yeah,
from
Jeff's the
Minnesota,
hockey
he's
guy.
supposed to be some kind of technician,
I could-
professional hockey guy. Are the Oilers still in the series? The best player in the world. They got a Draisaitl. They got a
What else they got?
What else they got? They got a goaltender they
Gordon, they
benched.
Oh
What
yeah.
I got, guys, I got 2 rules.
Okay.
Keep playing and never quit. Okay, so I'm going to go with the team that's got their back against the wall.
Edmonton.
I don't even care when.
Well, they took it to
where.
7. They took it to
They
7.
did it last year. They took it to 7. I just think
They have the whole way.
I think both
Canadian
these series guys are being
country on this.
completely overlooked as how great they are for how beautiful the game is being played, and not how like financially great anyone else is being. Like there's not a ton of great names. There's Oklahoma City and Indiana. There's Edmonton and like
Florida.
Mar-a-Lago. it's the official team of Trump. Are you guys cheering for Trump or Canada? What are you doing?
Absolutely loved it.
It's going to be crazy, you guys. And so I think Game 7 for both is going to sell the most commercials.
And real quick,
let's go.
Trump and Elon,
Yeah.
we're back.
We're back. We're back. That was close. Woo, you guys.
I mean, we got ruffle each other's feathers a little bit every now and then. But yeah, that's we're back.
That was
together.
close.
All right.
Anyways, check this out. What do you have on here,
Just a little something that I wear.
Jeff? What do you have on?
Well, I'm rocking this Nico Stones piece. You know me.
That's funny because mine's in my safe deposit box.
Why?
Expensive jewel. Well, mine's custom, and mine is very expensive. You guys got some of the cheaper, more affordable stuff.
Well, I'm out there coaching Little League in this thing.
Nico's got a little bit of everything. Tell me about it.
So I think there's a new code, and I don't know what it is, but it should be like right below.
Oh, there it is. Look, it's right.
It's a post Father's Day. So
Year 2000.
So your father, significant guy in your life,
Hey, it's a
can
dad.
have some.
It's a dad issue.
Just in case you
be my father for untruths.
Nico Stones just updated their site, and they're looking better than ever.
Nice.
Their new Essentials collection is exclusive. This stuff is made to be worn, and it doesn't say this stuff. That's what I said.
Damn, I like that. Made to be worn.
I threw my own flavor on that.
Because if I get a little something, I got a few pieces, even a watch here and there. I'm like, do I wear
Give
it?
me the close up, Mickey.
What if I
Oh,
scratch?
Mickey's not over. The camera guy went to sleep again. What the heck is going on? What are you doing?
Nothing.
You can't. Oh, he's making it. All right, you guys could probably see that. I love
pretty
it.
fresh with that Nico stuff.
No, it's so cool that you can like wear it, but it doesn't. It's not. I'm not a real flashy guy. If you haven't noticed that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So wearing just a cool piece like this leather, it's got a little shiny in there, just to for the bling.
And then Jeff, who is quite flashy and a little sassy. Hey, boys.
That's fair. I keep it
Yeah.
fresh and sexy every day.
he can't help.
It's like a baseball glove, though, guys. You want to break it in, you want to wear it in.
Yeah.
It's meant to be worn.
Okay.
Nico Stones.
Check him out.
NicoStones.com.
Okay. We're gonna set up a quick break here, take care of some business, and we'll be right back on the other side. It's the Elevation on Fan Day Nation. It's segment 2 of the Elevation on Fan Day Nation. Jeff Gersh, Mark Jackson. I am Danny Williams. We appreciate you guys being with us, the interaction, the participation, subscribe, like,
Share, like,
all that kind of stuff. We really
subliminal.
appreciate that.
We should, you should share.
React to us, right?
comment.
We've always feelings. We've always, and again, this is
Feelings.
this. Do you want to do it?
Nothing more than
We've always had a philosophy when it comes to sports talk radio, podcasting, and basically life. It's have a take
Oh, shit.
and don't suck.
I thought it was everybody love everybody.
No, that's in mantra.
Have a taste.
That's our mantra.
Have a take.
Everybody love everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Don't suck.
Yeah.
we're in the middle of
Jim Rome stole that from us.
episode number 11. Thanks for being with us. We want to do a little bit of the U.S. Open wrapped up in Oakmont, Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Oakmont. At one point, check this out, because I'm dabbling. I got a 25 in here, 15 in the guy here, this and that. There were 5 guys at +1, all tied for the lead of the U.S. Open with how many holes left? It was
6.
I think it was about 5 or 6 holes left.
Wow.
And Mark, I couldn't believe it when I saw it because I was going back and forth. It was Father's Day.
Has that ever happened in the history of
PGA cutting association and shipping? No,
Yeah.
I don't believe that's ever happened, Mark. I'm sure at some point in a tournament, 5 guys have been tied at +1 or down the stretch, but not in a major championship like that. There's no way. So,
Tough course as usual, right? +1?
you saw Shane Lowry, a guy
-1 took it home.
Wow.
-1 took it home.
Yes.
So most people thought
One under par.
was in.
That was the everyman's golf course. Okay, you saw Shane Lowry two things. Shane Lowry lost his mind, was cussing on the telecast saying, F this course, F this place. And that's a guy who's had success at this course before. And then you had, who's the guy from Valor over here? Our guy.
Oh, Wyndham.
Used his, broke some stuff in the locker room, had a couple things, and I guess he might be in a little bit of trouble. But
Wow.
that's
Guess who
what
didn't
that
break stuff
course
in
was.
the locker room.
Who didn't?
All 5 of those guys tied at plus.
They didn't?
1.
Yeah.
I bet
No.
2 or 3 might have broke some stuff after that.
Maybe not.
Because Burns had
hard
the thing in
course.
control.
He missed a putt. He missed a couple putts.
Mark, you're playing these Broncos alumni tournaments. You're a stick.
You haven't even named the champ yet.
You're
Are you going to give him his love?
Oh, yes, J.J. Spaun. I'm sorry.
Can we give him his love?
J.J. Spaun wins the tournament. Pretty cool story.
Damn.
Unique story. He
Big
said
time.
his daughter was sick all night, couldn't sleep, and
Wait,
the whole
worried.
Yeah. Oh, I'm no. The daughter was just sick, throwing
sick.
up.
Oh.
And then you're competing for a championship that'll change her life
Place in history.
forever. And then again, it was just a wild ride. Mark, 2 things. What you think about the tournament, the winner, and then a lot of golfers complaining about how tough the course was. They wanted a winner being at 13, 14
it should
under
be
par.
easier.
What do you think about that kind of course?
Oh, make it
I
easier.
love it when you see someone come back from
Yes.
the start that he had.
Yeah.
What did he have, Jeff?
Oh, yeah.
5
straight fives.
straight fives to open that thing.
Yeah.
Open. He
Thinking
was in the
he's on the
second
ropes.
last group.
He could be out of this thing.
Right.
He's out
Yes.
of this.
Hey, yo, Adrian.
And then what happens, Jeff? Then comes the blame it on the rain.
Yeah.
Rain delay.
Mark, you're so right, dude.
Rain
The rain delay came. Hey, Cubs fans, you ever seen a rain delay like this before? Dude, remember when the Indians, they took the lead, then the rain came, Jason Hayward gave him a little pep talk. Something happened with J.J. Spaun,
Yeah.
okay? Where when the rain came, he got to take a break, and he got to kind of just find his inner self. 7 holes to go. He went 4 under, birdie on 12, birdie on 14, unbelievable putts. He's already made 60.
16 and 18.
He made it was like 22 and 42,
Right.
and then he goes to 17, drives the green with just a piss missile. And then
Whatever
what does
that
he do
is.
on 18? Same thing, little buttercut birdie from 62 feet out,
Shoot.
borderline walk.
That-
It wasn't, but it
That
was.
delay changed everything in the course of those guys' lives.
and it changed everything for Wrigley Field.
It is.
Cubs fans.
They say,
J.J. Spaun is a
whatever
Cub.
you do, don't
blame
put that blame on you. You got to blame it on the rain. Right.
Well, and the other thing is there's joy.
Hurt.
Yep.
Pump it up, pump it up.
There's
Yeah.
pain.
Sunshine.
sunshine.
There's sunshine.
Then there's
Pretty
simple.
rain. Yeah.
Rain.
J.J.
It's
Spaun,
very simple.
he pretty much took care of all 4 of those.
Yeah.
But Mark, you nailed it. 5 fives in the first 5 holes. That's Steph Curry. That's good night.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
when you go to bed at the U.S. Open. That's when you break
over.
clubs. That's when you curse out the course. But J.J. Spaun showed up like this Cali cool. Even when he won the thing, he's like, yeah, man, it was like
It's like I just was out there, and then the waves were
surfing
trying
the
to
course a little bit, man.
and I went down, and it was like kapla, and then I got pitted.
Hit it.
So pitted.
So rad.
All right, Mark, could you surf?
Sick.
Do black guys surf? I don't know that I've ever seen one. Tell me.
No black surfers. Are there sharks in the ocean?
So you have to pick one.
Then I don't need to be in the ocean.
Hey, you have to pick one: surfing or snowboarding.
no.
Surfing or snowboarding.
Oh, you could shred the.
I can snowboard.
Well, there's like rocks.
I'll snowboard it.
Those
The
are
kid
worse
had
than
ice
sharks.
skates when he was a little kid.
There aren't any sharks on the mountain.
There's big rocks.
The only thing that can kill me on the mountain
Trees.
is trees, Sonny Bono. Oh,
Actually, Mark,
And share.
you've heard of Sharknado, right? They got a new one, Shark Avalanche.
I guess an avalanche could kill you.
Well, yeah. An avalanche.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like the Colorado Evans should have to change their name.
The what?
You know, they should.
Chicago Avalanche. Yeah.
They should have to change their name, like the
Be politically
Bullets did.
correct.
Washington Bullets had to change their name, and they
Or the Washington Redskins.
Bullets?
also had to change their name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at us.
Can we do a Chinese transition into Broncos? Weird one.
I go a hierarchy
for
in
segment 3?
stature.
No.
Well, should we? How much time is left if you go this segment?
Yeah, sorry.
We're cooking with gas?
Alvin,
Yes.
don't mind me. Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's hard to tag and label
So much
sometimes.
too many
We got our
things.
crew back at home labeling from U.S. Open transition into Broncos. But it's a hierarchy a little bit. We have a major
Hierarchy.
championship like we did with golf. It's coming off the Masters,
Big.
which was just right around the corner. But what's happening around here now is we're licking our wounds a little bit. Nuggets and the Avalanche, we're kind of getting over it and over ourselves and our feelings, looking towards the future and whatever that may be for these teams. And that's exciting. And we could even talk about that too a little bit. But now it's all about the Broncos. Mini camps. We want to see R.J. Howard. We talked about J.K. Dobbins.
Right.
We had a chance in the last segment to talk about Dobbins after that hit. And I'll say this, Mark, watch this. Evan Engram, J.K. Dobbins, those are two big boys, like veteran pros, proven guys in departments, rooms that were void of it, that had all young guys, unproven guys. How important is that? And how important was Steve Watson to you and some of these guys like that?
I think there's nothing to replace experience.
Okay.
You can be big, you can be fast, you can be strong, but experience is something that you can't really replace. And if you can learn from someone else, it's always best to learn from someone else. That's why you all should have a mentor. So, yeah, Steve Watson in the room. Clint Sampson was one of my mentors.
Okay.
He was a veteran in that room that took me under his wings. One of the things that Clint Sampson told me was, don't make any close friends, man. And I was like, what?
Yeah, but sometimes your mentors are your close friends, Mark.
No, he told me.
Steve Watson look at you as the guy who was pushing him out?
I think there was a friendly competition between Steve and I.
Okay.
Because we played the same position. So my rookie year, I was behind Vance at the X position. But my second year, they moved me to wing behind Steve Watson, and that's when it got real.
Yeah.
In the wide receiver room.
Is that part of a chicken, or what is that?
That is the guy that plays off the line of scrimmage, way out there. He's officially a running back, but he is a receiver.
So was there a certain point when you knew you were at any point making the team, like some of these young guys, establishing yourself, and then at that point, is the Valays or the Troy Franklins or the Marvin Mims or the Pat Bryants, when do those guys compete with Cortland Sutton and not compete just to be in the league and compete with other young guys for touches?
Oh, they're competing day one, trust me. Because, there's a saying in football, next man up. So in football, there's a 100% chance of injury. So everybody's going to get injured at some point in time. So if you have a team that doesn't have beast people that want to play, people that want to compete, then you don't really have a football team. If anybody's sitting on the bench saying, "Oh, that guy's better than me," good job, go.
Way to go, bud.
Yeah, you're always feeling like you should always feel like you're better than that guy in front of you. He just got here before me, and eventually the coaches are going to see how good I am, and I'm just going to do my job.
Hey, guess who made Chris Harris Jr. good? Aqib Talib.
Oh yeah.
And guess who made Aqib Talib good?
Champ too.
Guess who made Aqib Talib good? Chris Harris Jr.
Yeah,
and
but
then
the
you had
dynamic,
TJ Ward. Yeah,
iron
before then, listen, before then they had no talent. Now the offense, they just did the same thing that the Broncos did in the no-fly zone. They did it on offense. They brought in a couple veterans to help these young guys, rise up.
The Steve Watson, Mark Jackson dynamic was almost like a passing of the torch, though.
Yeah.
From the old kind of receiver group to what was, again, they went after you. Vance Pop, they drafted Ricky.
Right.
And that's just, it's unique. Cortland Sutton's probably not looking at these guys as a threat. But again, it's...
No, but the offensive side needed help, and they added Evan Engram, right? And back when, they had Peyton Manning. They needed help on defense, so they added TJ Ward, right? And they added Aqib Talib, and the rest is history.
Yeah,
it's badass history.
Steve
this
Watson,
one's for the fan.
Yeah. Steve Watson and Mark Jack, that was a mentorship. Jeff Gersh and I, who we used to do music together, had also a mentor in Randy Watson. Sexual chocolate. That boy good. That boy real good. Okay.
And Mama call him Clay, I'm a call.
So you think now that we have pros in the room to show the guys how to be big boys, Evan Engram, J.K. Dobbins.
On the offensive side, that's what they needed.
Watch those. Let's have a discussion here. Of those two guys they brought in, J.K. Dobbins, Evan Engram, who is more valuable and will be more valuable to this team this season? Who feels solidifies a gap between those two guys? But what room was weaker?
I'd say the tight end room, Engram. Yeah. And both of these guys, you look at Engram, you look at
RJ. Wait,
no,
J.K. Dobbins.
J.K. Dobbins.
My bad.
A lot of initials.
Everybody's got initials now. I know. RJ. they're both injury prone. So if you look at both of these guys, they're not finishing seasons. Although, Dobbins is 1,000-yard rusher. If you added all the games that he's played up and made him into 17 seasons.
Nice. 900 yards and 9 touchdowns last year in 13 games for J.K. Dobbins.
Right.
And, they shuffled around and gave some other running backs touches there in
San Diego.
In L.A. San Diego. I was going to say San Diego.
Yeah, San Diego.
Yeah, you took words out of my mouth, literally.
There is something to be said about that Sean Payton offense, though, and how Evan Engram is really going to just kind of be that 3rd and 3 catch. Go get 4. Go catch 4.
Right.
Sometimes it's hard to run for 4, but sometimes it's easy to catch. It's easier to catch for 4 than run for 4 sometimes. And so I think that tight end that they've never had, and you said it, right? And then we kind of got on track with JK, but it is the tight end.
Well, I'm hoping he picks up some Kittle numbers. Some Kelsey numbers where you make the run after the catch.
Jeff just made me think of something. They survived last year with a group of running backs. Javonte never hit. They tried so hard. They shuffled the deck so many times. They tried to set Jaleel off. They tried to get Estime some touches. He was hurt. And then Blake Watson, right?
You're a Blake Watson.
Thank you. There's another guy, too. They kind of give us some touches, too.
Jaleel McLaughlin.
Yeah, there's
in the running back room?
Yes, none of those guys really at any point flashed or popped. If you plug in,
they're all young, like you said, and they show some promise. But the bell cow.
The combination now of you're not going to get 900 yards and 9 touchdowns from J.K. Dobbins. But I'll tell you this, J.K. Dobbins, who's 26 or 27 years old still, thinks he hadn't played his best ball yet. And you know what? Until you're 29 or 30 years old, I'll believe it with you until you show me you can't do it anymore. I know you don't got a lot of tread on the tires as a running back.
How old is Derrick Henry?
Probably younger than we think. I bet he's like 29 now. I bet he feels like he's been around forever.
I know.
We'll look.
He's older than JK, I think. But can I tell you guys a fun story?
Yes.
So me and the boys went to Texas to watch 2 college football games in one day. Texas A&M in the morning, Longhorns at night.
Gig 'em.
On the Friday night before, we just went to pick up a game, and I found a game. It was the LaGrange Leopards playing the Tyler Ducks, and this cat wearing LSU looking jersey went off for like 305 touchdowns.
Hold on, who was
that boy's going to Ohio State? Someone told me, so I looked him up, and it was J.K. Dobbins. That guy's got he's got tread on the tires, and when his tires when those are Blizzaks. You know what? And when those are them nice Michelins and not the little whoops-a-daisy, here's all we got left for you. Man, J.K. Dobbins is sick, bro. I've seen him. I've seen the 18-year-old version, and I can't wait to see the 20-year-old version. That boy's good.
Okay, I agree with you. I mean, I think he's going to be super.
Shout out Soli and the Bulldog there.
Here's my point. I think that they can make it work with any running back. They did it last year, and the best running back last year, Jeff said, was Bo Nix on the team. I believe you said that. Okay. So they can get away with any running back. What will add a new dynamic to this offense is Evan Engram, who is very special, very unique. Last year, I'm going to call him, was quietly a stat stuffer for a Jacksonville team that was, man, in dismay, couldn't get it right, couldn't get out of their own way, obviously fired their coach. But this guy, because I'm putting those parlays together, I'm finding the sure thing. He was 50 or 60 yards and 5 or 6 catches every game all season long, and that's the floor. He had a lot better games than that. Evan Ingram's going to be dynamic and be a difference maker around here.
I think so. With Bo Nix at quarterback, he's shown that he can make plays with his legs as well. But getting outside the pocket,
at all?
No, I absolutely love it. I love it. I mean, I think that's the era that we're in. That's the football era that we're.
Hey, back in your era, the tight end that you enjoyed playing with the most, or two that you can think of that maybe helped you get most open? Who was it and why was it?
I love playing with Orson Mobley because he was a big guy. He could catch soft hands. It wasn't the incredible blocker, but the fact that he could stretch the field, and he was someone that the defense had to worry about.
Yeah.
I don't think they worried as much about Clarence K. Clarence was known to be just an awesome blocker. And out of that, Georgia. That was Dan Reed's guy.
Georgia.
But yeah, whenever you have a strong tight end, if you look at Denver Broncos, man, on defensive side, but no, who scares you most when the Broncos are on defense? To me, it was the tight end position. I mean, it seems like whether it was Brock Bauer, whether it was Kelsey,
see.
whether
Brock
it was
Bowers had
yeah,
over 100
what-
catches last year.
No,
remember,
say
didn't
not
Kettle,
only-
didn't
not only
Kettle
having a
almost like
tight end,
break a
but
record. He had like
defending the
300
tight end.
yards in the first
Yeah.
half against the Broncos.
Yeah,
No, I feel you. Yeah, there's
George Kettle. Yeah, so
good call.
they've always had problems. Like
So
From
did they
the-
fix that? Did they fix that with Greenlaw?
From the
And
Antonio
pretty good,
Gates,
absolutely.
from the Antonio
And the
Gates to
pressure.
the Darren Wallers to the Tony
Oh,
Gonzalez.
we're going way back.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, the AFC, the Broncos have had tight ends within their own division that have just eaten them up for years and years. We know better. than
absolutely,
anybody.
absolutely.
And yeah, that's good stuff. Okay, one last little thing on Bo Nix. Okay, I loved, and I said, does the idea of Bo Nix getting out there and running scare you at all, Mark? Okay, well, I saw a cool stat. I loved. There was 4 guys in the NFL last year who threw for 3,800 yards, ran for I think 350 or 400 yards, think threw 25 touchdowns. There's 3 or 4 guys in the whole NFL who had that combination of stats. I'll give it to you again while you're thinking of it. Okay, 3,500 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, 400 rushing yards. I mean, I didn't 350 rushing yards, but 1 or 2 should be hanging out there for you guys. You guys can do it together.
Easy.
I gave you
First pick in the
What?
draft?
Lamar Jackson.
ding,
Jalen Hurts?
blow them up.
Oh, shoot.
I say
I was
Jaden
going to say Pat.
Daniels,
Daniels.
you're cooking right now, Mark.
Take one more. Just go. Just
Josh.
finish it, Josh.
Josh Allen.
And Bo Nix.
Oh.
Think about that group of guys.
I was going to say Mahomes and
Listen,
Hurts.
we know that Bo
Hurts
Nix.
so good.
We know that Bo Nix is not going to be quite like Jaden Daniels. We know
No.
he's going to not be anything.
Why
like
not?
He
Lamar
doesn't have to
Jackson.
be. Yeah,
No.
yeah.
But if he could be some kind of version of a poor man's Josh Allen. Josh Allen's like one of the freakiest quarterbacks in the history of
no
the league.
doubt. No doubt.
He's second to none. He's like a Elway
Yeah.
laser
Yeah.
combination of 2 or 3 other
Yeah.
guys. He's special, and I believe he'll win a championship at one point or another. Okay?
Hopefully.
But if Nix can be some kind of semblance replica of the good, it's like Breeze was no Peyton Manning,
Right.
but Drew Brees almost accomplished everything Peyton Manning did.
Yeah.
You know, so I love that stat. That stat goes to some of the Sean Payton, using Bo Nix in a fashion that maybe only he could.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you think about those numbers that he put up. That was after a real shaky start.
Oh yes,
I mean, we see.
Bo Nix sucked right out of the gate. We
Yeah.
were not sold on Bo Nix right away.
If Elway didn't have Dan Reeves, would he have been the same QB?
Interesting.
Oh, you've been a different QB. That's
Like if Bo Nix didn't have Sean Payton, and if Sean
Yeah.
didn't have, how about this? If Reeves didn't have Elway, would he have been the same coach?
yeah, exactly.
Damn, if Don Shula would have had John Elway, would
Steve
they have
Marino
threw
Oh.
40 touchdowns and won
Bill
Super Bowl?
Walsh and
I guess we'll never
Never
know. Okay, so check this out, Mark.
Tell him.
You're looking ripped. Okay,
Yeah.
you're looking hydrated.
Boot camp?
I see assortment of some Gatorade stuff right here. I want to
noticed
know.
that.
I do. I want to know your favorite Gatorade flavor. It's just a classic Gatorade flavor. And then check this out: these muscle milk drinks. My son JJ, after he does a workout, he'll ask for one. I'll let him drink half of one, and he drinks like a half of one, and he loves them, and they're
you get
good.
25 grams of protein in that thing.
I love them.
No sugar. But here's fierce, baby.
Oh, there
That's
it
your favorite
is.
flavor?
That's my fave. As a matter of fact,
It's like
Jeff, what's your favorite flavor of Gatorade?
I think when it comes down to it, it's the old fruit punch. I just like it dead red. Even though
He's an
if
old
I-
kind of guy.
when I got that mustache going,
I-
I got
that's
fruit
what I was
punch. If I
thinking.
don't have the mustache
Yeah.
going, then I can't, and I don't want too much red lips.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's good, man. I suck it down.
You ready for mine?
yeah, what's your favorite?
Citrus cooler.
It gets cold up there in the mountains. It gets icy. And sometimes I need that glacier freeze. I hit that glacier freeze. Boom. I'm telling you, whether I'm out there playing a little tennis,
Thirst
whether I'm out
quench.
there on the golf course, whether I'm out there
Immediately.
coaching the kids up like great Coach Gersh right here, I hit that glacier freeze, and this thing is
I only had like 32 10-ounce Gatorades this weekend.
dead.
Oh my God.
Just swigging.
Playing hard.
You're pounding?
Yeah.
Coaching hard.
He's that
Coaching hard,
guy.
man.
He is that guy.
Yeah,
Coach
we
hard, he
just
plays hard.
Guess what? The parents are smart. They filled the cooler with a bunch of Gatorades, and we battled all the way through.
I love a good cooler full of stuff.
No,
Gatorade is thirst state for that deep down body thirst.
Damn.
Just
naturally we called it
Kinda just-
Gatorade.
Gatorade. That's
My
right.
mind there.
That's pretty good.
Hey,
Gainesville,
guys,
baby. You ever been there?
before we go,
It's one of the best.
water sucks. Gatorade's better.
Water sucks.
It really, really sucks. Yeah, I mean, it's like water boy. So, Danny Williams,
We wrote that.
hi. Mark Jackson, Denver Broncos icon.
Yes.
This guy.
Me.
Jeff Gersh, you might have heard of his coaching style. Not every parent loves it, but he's been very successful.
They call me the
Nonetheless, he's been very successful.
He's the doer.
That's segment number 2. We got a bunch of stuff we're going to squeeze into one final segment. We're going to do it on the other side of the elevation on Fan Day Nation. It is the final segment, episode 11 of The Elevation on Fan Day Nation. I have Danny Williams, Mark Jackson, and Jeff Gersh. We've got a lot of stuff into 2 segments, and we have 2 or 3 more things we want to get into the final segment. Got some business to take care of, but I thought worth mentioning Shohei Ohtani, for the first time in years, found the mound for 28 pitches, gave up a couple of hits, a run. And again, I just think this guy's so special and so unique and so significant to, this era of Major League Baseball sports as a whole. If the echelon, the biggest sports...
An enigma.
Yeah, the biggest sports stars in the whole wide world. Does it start with Ohtani, or is there somebody else bigger than Ohtani?
Ooh.
I'm talking about biggest right now
In the
current
world.
sports stars in the whole world.
Yeah.
It's got to be a soccer player.
Okay.
Soccer player that
You could
pitches
say-
and hits. And the
Well,
goalie
there you
and
go.
the
Yeah.
scorer.
We're not saying the significance. 2 things here, Jeff. Not the significance of his ability, but the biggest star athlete in the world. LeBron, Ohtani,
Some F1 guy,
and
Kicker, football
Max
guy.
Verstappen.
You're a Verstappen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just think
golfers
it's-
have a
Scotty
worldwide appeal as well.
Is Tiger still bigger than Scotty Scheffler? Not better.
No.
Yes, big.
Yeah.
Bigger, matter.
Well, like
Yeah, I think so.
bigger.
Well, so
Okay.
use this name recognition.
Yeah.
So Ronald McDonald, Tiger Woods.
Yep.
People recognize his name.
Listen,
sure.
yesterday there was
You got a TW on your
Shaq,
hat. They know what
Dogg,
it is.
Snoop Dogg,
so there was a
Martha Stewart.
we talked about earlier. There was a rain delay at the U.S. Open,
Yes.
and during the rain delay, they went to video the 2008 U.S. Open
at Torrey Pines.
at Torrey Pines, where Mark Calcavecchia and Tiger Woods go head to head.
Really?
Tiger, yes, and Tiger has some of the biggest putts and shots. Like it seemed like in the history of the golf,
wait,
but he
everyone-
did it every week. So people on social media were going. People who were 30 years and younger, Mark, on
Right.
social media,
That was the deal.
when he was 20, this is 2008, were going, this is what golf used to be like.
We got that.
Leave this old shizzle on instead of put this new stuff on, because they were seeing Tiger in all of his greatness.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That was such a door opener. It was kind of like Eddie Murphy when he did Raw.
Yeah.
It took being a comedian to the next level.
Yeah.
He was a rock star comedian.
Yes.
So, that Tiger Woods era, well,
Yep.
when he was doing the, in the
Dude. So I was at this 2021, and there was like
red shirt on.
there was 10,000 people. At the 2008 one you guys talk about, it was 19 people deep. In the last
Oh,
5 holes.
wow.
Yeah.
I mean, when we were there, I could like touch Brooks' Koepka and be like, Tommy Fleetwood, lovely sweater you've chosen. Hey, good one on you, mate.
Yeah.
Right? But, dude, when you look at the putts were being made, look at how many people are just stacked up like sardines in a can to watch that. dude
Golf's
and the rest
still
of those
great.
play
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but
it's
not
like
like
the
Tiger.
Jordan era.
I can't believe I just gave Scotty Scheffler even that much love.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. That's cool. I like you did that. We're talking about
Crazy.
the question was like the biggest athletes in the world,
Tiger
power
is
rankings kind of style
He
right
might be
now, I
it.
guess. But
Might be the it. Is Tiger still the it?
he's there. He's still
Let's Google that.
he still matters like not very many people do in the world.
Man.
Tiger matters like not very many people do in the whole wide world of ours. Okay, so
Hey, can I just say one last
Of
thing?
course.
I mean, the Father's Day ending was crazy. Dude, I was driving back home from
Oh, yeah.
coaching the kids. JJ Spaun is just coming back from this rain
Unreal.
delay. He started with all these bogeys. We're coming up to the tunnel. He's made it. He's birdied already 12 and 14. There's only like 5
Coming
guys
back.
in the history to birdie 17 and 18. in the U.S.
Wow.
Open.
There you go with those stats.
Dustin
Yeah.
Johnson
Stop
did
it.
it.
That's one of
John
those. That's a
Rahm
good
did
one.
it. Yeah,
That's
I
a
think
good one.
Jack, maybe Ernie. I don't know. It just, to me, I think
Yeah.
that Father's Day, the U.S. Open, kids, golf, dads, I think Colorado deserves it. I think Cherry Hills deserves it. I think it's time that we run it back at Cherry Hills, the United States Open 2034. We'll take whatever
Sounds like
you
a
have.
campaign.
We'll take it.
Drop
Can
in
you
the
please
comments.
bring it so we can give it?
Jeff, I'd love
Share,
it.
subscribe.
It
drop
It was
in the
so
comments.
beautiful.
Yeah, that would be special. It'd be unique. There's a rich, thick tradition and history from Arnold Palmer winning a U.S. Open there.
Mickelson.
To them, running
Bernie
that,
Kemp
running
chipped
that
in.
BMW there, and getting a tournament there when they can. But it's weird. It's such a prestigious kind of private club, for one, as an entity, but two, it's an infrastructure thing. Is that, did I say that right? Infrastructure. You have to be able to do it. Jeff thinks, it's old charm and just throw it out there, just.
Pittsburgh, they did it in Marion and Philadelphia.
I bet you,
They've done
Jeff. I bet you they got tons of
They do it in country
parking. I
clubs.
bet you they got,
They did it at L.A. Country Club.
dude, that'd be cool. It'd be the greatest thing of
They
all
can
time.
do
But
it.
where are people going to park? On Colorado Boulevard?
They'll take shuttles.
You have to,
Hey,
because you couldn't. There's no
if
place
you
to
build
park.
it,
They will come.
they will come and they will
Like an
stack
army
themselves
of
up if you've got
Steve, golf has been torn down, rebuilt. But
It's a
this
reboot.
game,
It's a
this
reboot.
I think-
course,
I
it
think-
reminds
Not
us.
a rebuild.
I think we're in the moment in time where
That'd be cool.
Colorado deserves a U.S. Open.
Dude,
Does Sherry? Okay, let me ask you this, Jeff.
let's call the Walton Penner family and have them build a
Is there any course?
Sherry.
And you guys would know this.
Paint
build a
I
big
would.
skyscraper garage.
Is there any course other than the Cherry Hills that can host let alone a major,
Castle Pines did it.
a highfalutin PGA event? Yeah, they had the International forever. It was sweet.
Right.
Now, Castle Pines just did the BMW as well, too, and they could hold it, but that's not a country club, guys. That is a gated community.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
right. That's
so-
like, well, Cherry Hills is the same. You just said it.
Cherry Hills has university. It
Castle
has-
Pines did a
has
women's
Arapahoe,
event, a big
there's
women's event. They did a
I-25.
senior championship. Castle Pines or somewhere out in Castle Rock did a senior championship.
So speaking of senior championships, guys, U.S. Senior Open's coming to the Broadmoor. Could the Broadmoor host the pros? I don't think so. I think it's a
No.
perfect senior
He's a
course.
dreamer, Mark.
But I'm telling you what, this one right here on the
He's a
lid,
dreamer.
this one on the lid.
But he's not the only one.
What if Tiger comes out to play it?
You might say that I'm a dreamer.
What if John Lennon comes out and plays that U.S. Open?
Oh,
Dream. I know where you're going.
JJ Spaun, what a dream.
That's
62 feet on
It
the
happens.
18th hole in the rain with your caddy holding an umbrella.
it happens.
Unbelievable.
Check this out, Mark.
Broncos.
Your stuff's organized. You're put together. You got all your ducks in a row. Were you born that way, or did somebody help you along the way?
No, Daddy. It was Intentional Spaces.
Tell me more.
IntentionalSpacesDenver.com.
Nice. Love them.
Yeah, Ramona over there, Intentional Spaces. This is her
Brainchild.
jam. Her jam.
Yeah.
She loves doing it. So
Yeah.
you got clutter. You've got some stress going on in the family, maybe because you're a hoarder.
Uh-oh.
There's no condemnation.
Order, I just met her.
What do I do with all this plastic cups and stuff
Yeah.
like that I've been saving for 20 years?
Let Ramona have
Oh,
it.
throw it out?
She will organize everything
All right.
for you. I promise. You can get a free consultation, free estimate. All you have to do is go to intentionalspacesdenver.com. It should be there somewhere. Yeah, go there, make the call, get in touch, and get organized.
I had one last topic for us, and then we'll wrap this bad boy up and we can call tonight.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
We're seeing the NBA Finals playing out before our eyes. We're seeing the Thunder with a bunch of unique pieces. And there's a couple guys who they shuffle from starter to reserve. But from the Carusos to the Dorts to the Kaysen Wallaces,
Okay.
and
This
to
is
the
you.
yeah, thank you to the
Whoa.
to the Aaron Wiggins who went off tonight,
What? They put
Yes.
14 guys against the Nuggets.
dude.
Crazy.
That's just the Thunder, who are deep and one of the most talented teams in the NBA. The Pacers are very deep, and maybe the second most
Whoa.
deepest team, Jeff. We're trying to categorize them. Second most deepest plus talented team in the league. And that talent means Siakam's an all-star caliber player. And Halliburton is a Team USA type of all-star.
Got a medal.
Yet they have guys like T.J. McConnell, who we just love this guy. They have the Nemhards and the Naismiths, and
We're forgetting about Matherin
Matherin has been great this series.
and Bryant. I mean, he's been sitting.
Thomas, yeah, but Thomas Bryant is the guy who plays for them, Jeff. Miles Turner, he's a 25-minute a guy. Miles Turner's not playing 35 minutes. He only plays 25 minutes a night because they got guys who they can stack upon guys.
They're deep.
My question is, as we tie this thing into the Nuggets, okay?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the start.
Nuggets aren't deep.
Do the Nuggets have the same type of caliber of role players as these two teams vying for the NBA championship? And my last little thought here is, if we're really talking about the bench, it's got to be guys who play. So is Peyton Watson?
Can't say I want SGA.
Well, Peyton Watson, Julian Strother. That's really the Nuggets bench right now because Russell Westbrook, over the last couple of days, has decided to decline his player option, and he's looking for a new contract, whether it be here or somewhere else. So Mark and Jeff, they can't stand pat. Are Julian Strother and Peyton Watson the level and the tier of what we had a chance to see in Game 5 with the almost unbelievable play from both of those teams?
No, not at all. I mean, they were when Caldwell Pope was here. You have Brown here. You have guys that can come off the bench and sustain the game. Green.
And then you had those guys at the end. That's
Absolutely.
interesting.
Yeah, I think, there's a rebuild.
It's not
There's a rebuild of the bench that needs to happen. Struthers came in and had a flash in the one game, and that does not
have a flash in though.
Yeah,
One game.
but you got to be
You're more of a Hartenstein guy. You're a DeAndre Jordan guy. Tell us. I mean, are you looking for a big? Is that what we're missing?
We're missing a big. We're missing someone that could give Jamal a spell, right?
Hartenstein's like a weird luxury addition. They had Chet. They knew it. They went and spent some money, not tons of money, on a guy in Hartenstein to just solidify a weird toughness in what will be the difference of the Thunder winning this NBA champion.
Absolutely.
It'll be the entire difference. And then we'll go to see they're top heavy. They have 2 all-star players, but it's the depth plus the superstardom that made this team an NBA champion, an ascending NBA champion, maybe to win multiple. And then, the reason why they won 68 games, not messing around with 52 or 55 games like the Nuggets. We're talking about just steamrolling teams.
The thing I'm looking for as a Nuggets fan is a number 2 scorer, and the Oklahoma City Thunder have that in bunches. They got Jalen Williams. Hey, buddy, put up 40 in this most recent game. I mean, we all know who the Nuggets' number 1 scorer is, but for me, if I'm doing draft picks, my number 1 pick is, can I get an every night number 2 scorer? And then my number 2 pick is, I'll take either GM. I'll take either one of their GMs because we need a guy that's going to take chances on Halliburton's and bring in, draft a Matherin and bring in Pascal Siakam, but keep Chet. And, what both these GMs have done is beautiful. When you only need to put 8 pieces together,
well, hell, they got
get lucky on 2.
They built. I mean, it's a little easier for them just to maybe take a little credit from them. I think they have 4. They got 2 first-rounders next year.
Oh my God!
For the next 3 years,
the Thunder, right? They have so many picks, and they have so many assets that what's going to happen, Mark and Jeff, is a little bit of what happened with the Thunder of the past when they had Harden, Westbrook, Durant, and Serge Ibaka. Right. They couldn't pay all those guys. They had to move on from one or the other, and it wasn't because the guys weren't great, because obviously all 4 of those players were great. But it was just a matter of, where do you spend your money, who's your most important guys. So I'll say this. I will trade Peyton Watson, and I'd trade Julian Strother, who I do think have value out there because they've, the Nuggets do have an organization, a development organization for a couple veteran guys in a heartbeat. And the sad thing is, in the place that the Nuggets are in, is the Thunder are just drafting young studs. After another. The Nuggets now have no draft capital. The 2 young guys they have, they might have to leverage towards getting an older guy to maybe help them get back into the NBA championship picture. That's a lot of words. What do you think of it?
I like that a little.
Okay.
The thing I don't like
it a little.
is we're seeing in this championship series that there's a youth revolution going on. We saw it in the playoffs with LeBron James looking outrageous, looking like LeBron James for 3 quarters, but in the 4th quarter he disappears.
Gassed out.
So grabbing veteran players to compete with
needs help. Does Jokic need that kind of help here? Or
I think there's something to be said about length, guys, versus like Jamal. Jamal, he's a little guy.
Yeah.
You don't see McConnell went off most recently.
Yeah.
SGA is longer than we all think. Even Jalen Williams.
No. 7'2" wingspan.
Wingspan 7'2".
Hey, Shed is long. Hartenstein is long and big. That's a philosophy. Dort is a.
There's something to be said about
check
long
you.
arm
Lots of block
guards.
shots.
Dort will lock you up and check you. He's that kind of player.
Definitely kept the Nuggets out of the middle in that series.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything in the paint that they were getting easily.
Mark, you said it, dude. I mean, everyone talks about threes and Ds, but I'm talking about the Ps. It's points in the paint.
Right.
And Jalen Williams, he got to 22 points on his second three-pointer. All his points were in the paint. In this most recent
Yeah, Jalen.
when Indiana's beating you, guess where they're beating you? In the paint.
Yeah.
The beauty of the basketball game that I loved growing up, points in the paint, it is coming back. The difference is it's all paint shots and threes.
Yeah.
Even SGA, though, he sprinkles in a mid-range.
He is. I mean, that's his spot. He hits his spot.
Even Jalen Williams, he
which is
sprinkles
one of the
in
reasons I think they're in there.
toe in the
one of
paint
the reasons
shot.
he's the MVP of the league right now. Really,
They are kind of fun to watch. They
He
play
can
a
score.
beautiful game.
Speaking of fun to watch, who do you think you are? I am this guy, Mark Jackson, Jeff Gersh. I am Danny Williams. This has been episode 11 of the Elevation on Fan Day Nation. We're going to wrap it up here, but by the time we reconvene, we'll probably have a new NBA champion. We'll have a new NHL champion. The Broncos will be a little bit further pushed along, so we're ready for the training camp.
Much closer to
Get those
training
OTAs. Let's get all those. Let's get excited about RJ Harvey. Let's get excited about all those guys. But
It's like you push it along until you start to squeeze closer.
yeah, it is. It's like that.
Cool concept.
But we're happy to do it with you guys, for you guys. We'll be back next time, episode 12. Do your homework on some jersey number 12s. That's been the Elevation, guys. Look.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm proud of you. Here,
Hey,
like a great round of golf.
handshake. Yeah, take your head off.
That's the Elevation. Hey,
Don't take your.
Congrats, JJ.
Fan
Day
Nation.